The Roland VM series digital mixer line, a new concept in digital mixers, has arrived. Roland proudly introduces a versatile new way to utilize and configure digital mixers. The Roland VM series
allows you to have full automated mixing of 94 channels at once in one ergonomically designed console environment. A fully blown system has 48 channels of digital recording simultaneously if you want, using MDMs in our optional MDM boxes. 32 mono or 16 stereo effects processors on board at once, and these are extremely high quality 24-bit effects based on our 1680 series. So you've got all the Cosm guitars, reverbs, models of microphones. We have the microphone modeling algorithms, so you can take an inexpensive mic and model the response of an expensive microphone. And of course, speaker modeling, which if you haven't heard yet, you might want to check out our DS90 demonstration for speaker modeling, which is pretty amazing. On top of that, we have tons of other features. There's a real-time analyzer built in, so you can tune a room right from the console. We have 24 MIDI faders, 24 groups, 99 scenes, 999 locators, so you can use our transport control here to control an MDM setup and actually arm the tracks right from the console. Lots and lots of other features that we'll talk about in a minute. But probably the most important feature is the modular design. The system is designed to have a control surface, which you can put wherever you want to mix, maybe in the front of a house if you're doing a PA setup or in your studio, and a processor. And the processor has all the I/O modules and so on, which goes where your audio is. So you put this on stage where your audio is happening, or maybe in a machine room or in a rack with your MDMs or whatever, and you connect the two with two XLR cables. This cable will run up to 1,000 meters if it's a digital cable, and that means no more snakes, no more degradation from analog cabling, and very, very fast setup. Think about the snake thing for a second. I got a quote on the snake, 94 channels by 12 returns. This system, by the way, is 94 by 82, so it's 94 in, 82 out. A 94 by 12 snake, priced $5,364 and weighs 199 pounds. So we're talking about one cable here to save. Another great advantage of the modular approach is that we have choices, and you can build a system based on your needs. We have this control surface, which has 2,500 millimeter automated moving faders, and we have the C7100 console, which is rack mountable, has 13 60 millimeter faders, but other than that is identical to this console. So we can control 94 channels of audio right from here, including 48 tracks of simultaneous digital recording, same as we can from here. We have two processor options. This is the VM-7200. It has 20 24-bit A to Ds with XLRs and phantom power in line in one console and supports 24 tracks of MDM recording. And we have the 7100 and has 10 XLRs instead of 20. When you put a system together, you can mix and match pieces in any way you want. For instance, you could use one of the C7200 consoles, this console with 25 flying faders, moving faders, and one or two of these processors. So if we put two of the 7200 processors together, I've got 40 XLR inputs with phantom power, up to 48 tracks of MDM recording, up to 32 mono effects, using two processors, one console. I can actually control one processor from two of these, or a combination of two of these if I want to. So I can have this on stage, have a monitor mixing guy using this in the corner doing monitor mixes, and have the front of house guy using this, all controlling the same one or two processors. These processors can also be controlled via MIDI alone. So you don't even need your consoles if you have a big MIDI environment and you want to use like an AMX system or a Media Matrix or something. You could actually control this whole system via MIDI as well. So that gives you, first of all, a lot of flexibility. Second of all, price options. You can get in for inexpensive price point. This 7100 processor retails at $19.95, and our rack-mountable console is $29.95 retail. And the larger console is $36.95, and the larger processor is $27.95. So for in the $8,000 retail price range, I can have two of these and one of these. a system that's configurable up to 94 channels with 40 XLR ins. I think that 40 XLR input is really key because up until now, any consoles in the less than $200,000 range had 8, 10, 12 mic ins, which is just not enough to run a live show or even a studio. You know, if you're going to do any live recording at all, drums even can take more microphones than that. So we're giving you really the first opportunity to have a full studio right here. The system is designed to do surround sound mixing, so we can go in and actually control our routing to our buses. And there are dedicated 6 XLR outputs for these buses, so we can go right to an encoder or whatever our destination for our surround mixing is. In terms of busing, the whole system, fully configured with 2 processors and a console, has actually 22 buses. And I can use these buses in lots of ways. Instead of having a recording bus system and an aux send bus and a matrix bus, we have what we call a flex bus system. And the flex bus allows us to configure the console in any way we want. And we actually have what we call easy routing patches, so you can reconfigure the console instantly from maybe a live application to a studio recording or whatever you need. All the flex buses have send levels from all the channels, all 94. And they all have send levels. They're all selectable pre-delay, pre-fader, and post-fader. So you can use them for different applications. All the buses are routable to other buses, so you can use them like matrix buses if you want, and they all have send levels and master faders. So that gives us an enormous amount of flexibility on board. Each channel has 4 inserts internally, plus we have 24 physical inserts in a fully blown system, so you can use external processing if you want to do that. And internally, of course, we have 32 mono or 16 stereo effects using the optional VS8F2 cards. We also have 94 DSP objects that can be either 5-band EQ or dynamics processors, any mix and match any way you want, up to 94. So you could have 94 compressors at once if you want, or 48 channels of both compressors and EQ, or however you want to configure it, and on top of the other effects processing as well. The system is fully automated. There are 99 scenes so that we can instantly reconfigure the console during a mix. We do have a timeline, and you can see on the meter bridge on this system, we can lock to MIDI time code and then have a mix follow time or SMPTE with an optional box as well. The automation, of course, is editable, and you can see it on the screen actually as a sort of shapes if you want to edit it in that fashion. We have lots of other really sort of convenient factors built in. There's a real-time analyzer built in. You can see on the screen here, I can take a look at an input channel if I want to, just to see what the frequency makeup is like. Or, using our TalkBack system, I can plug a microphone in. This has a 24-bit A/D with phantom power and mic canceling algorithms, so I can actually listen to the white noise or pink noise generated by the system, use 31-band stereographic to tune the room in front of a live concert, for instance, or even if you take this over to your friend's studio, you want to check out the room, you can do that on site as well. The system is really ergonomic and fast to operate. I like to use this example. Picture yourself in front of a 94-channel analog console. You're mixing, you're right in the sweet spot, you're having fun mixing here, and you decide that channel 2's send level on aux bus 6 is too low. How are you going to change it? You get your binoculars out, you look down there, you see, the setting is a little off. You get up, walk over, count down the knobs, and you go, knob 6, okay, descend. Shoot, it's not right. You go back down, change it again, not quite right again, and so on and so forth. In this system, all my faders are instantly reconfigurable to any send levels or any other, basically any parameter in the whole console, actually. So let's say I'm mixing my levels and everything is here. I'm right in the sweet spot, and I decide, I need to change the send level on channel 2, bus 6. I just press bus 6, change the level I'm listening, perfect, and go back to mixing. Very fast and simple. And of course, we've saved you the cost of having a crane bring the console into your studio, because if it were an analog console, it would probably weigh a ton or two. So that kind of ergonomics in space savings as well as operation is another great feature of the modular system.
Thinking